never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Now that it's officially Saturday and we officially had high school football last night, so we can talk about some real meaningful football, not scrimmages, not practice, not preseason, but real meaningful football. I figured we'd go ahead and do this year on Saturdays, just like we did last year on Saturdays, and that is cover most of the important games in the state of Georgia. A lot of times I also talk about some of the games in the upstate of South Carolina, but I had a late night last night, got home a lot later than I thought I would, so I'm not going to make it a long video this week. We're just going to stick with most of the meaningful games in the state of Georgia. And as always, just like last year, if you went to a game last night, please feel free to let me know and drop it in the comment section while you're there. Go ahead and like the video, give the video a thumbs up, and share the video on all social media platforms. I know a lot of people still go to high school football games because in most places a high school football ticket's $7, $10, maybe $15, whereas college NFL tickets now are up in the hundreds. So if you want to go to a football game and not spend much money and actually see the players that are playing for one reason and one reason only, and that is because they love football, go to a high school football game in whatever city you live in. But anyway, on to some scores from last night. Elbert County defeated one of their arch rivals, Hart County, by the score of 24-14. Madison County beats Franklin County by the score of 41-7. Jasper County defeats Walnut Grove 20-18. Buford shuts out St. Francis 18-0. Langston Hughes, which is still a pretty new football program, but they have quickly became one of the dominant high school football teams in the state of Georgia. They defeated Carrollton, who I believe was ranked going into that game last night, by the score of 39-34. Greene County beats Best 37-12. So last night Best was not the best. Banks County defeats Johnson 53-13. And I know Banks County's football coach is somebody that I went to school with. He was actually a fullback on the high school football team when we were in school. Now he's the head coach of Banks County. Rabun County defeated Haralson County 45-21. Blessed Trinity defeats Calhoun 17-7. Heritage beats Salem 35-20. Forsyth Central defeats Chattahoochee 31-28. Mountain View all over Shiloh 58-7. North Hall beats White County 49-34. Cartersville 27, Cherokee 14. Morgan County defeats Social Circle 41-7. Upson Lee beats Union Grove by 1 point, 21-20. And in a low-scoring game, River Ridge defeats Hillgrove 9-6. East Jackson beats Oglethorpe County 14-7. Commerce beats Southside Christian Academy 21-19. Stevens County defeats Habersham Central 31-29. Flowery Branch beats Decatur 38-7. Gainesville, we know Gainesville is good every year in high school football. Last night, they start out 1-0 by defeating Marist 34-26. Jackson County shuts out Dawson County 16-0. In the Battle of the Halls, East gets the best of West by the score of 35-28. And two teams that are rivals that also play in the same county. Winder Barrow defeats Appalachia 28-7. North Oconee beats Oconee 29-12. And Monroe area shuts out Loganville 10-0. Now, Appalachia has been around for a pretty good while now, but when I was in high school, they didn't exist. The Winder Barrow School got so big that they couldn't add any more students because the school was just not big enough. So they had to add an additional school, which became Appalachia. Now, they've been around for a pretty good while now, but it's funny because the school came from Winder Barrow getting so big that they had to build a second school. And then it was like, for years, Appalachia was so good in football, and Winder Barrow was terrible. It was almost like once the second school opened and Appalachia was there, all the football players went to that school instead of Winder Barrow because Winder Barrow was terrible. But in the last couple of years, it seems like Winder Barrow is finally starting to pick it up again. And if I'm not mistaken, Gene Cathcart is the new head football coach at Loganville High School. I might be wrong, but I'm almost positive that Gene Cathcart is now the coach there. And I say that because Gene Cathcart has coached at 4 or 5 different programs, and he has won everywhere he's been. So Loganville might have got shut out last night, 10-0 by Monroe area. But if I'm right, and Gene Cathcart is their new coach, they will get better and better every week. And by next year, they'll be a great football team. Gene Cathcart wins everywhere he goes. He used to coach at Habersham Central years ago, and he put them on the map, and he's bounced around since then and gone from program to program, school to school, but he's won everywhere he's been, and he is now a new coach somewhere in Georgia, and I believe it's Loganville. And the reason why I say somewhere in Georgia is because he did it one time after leaving Habersham Central, coached Greenwood in South Carolina, but I believe he's the new coach now at Loganville. Any thoughts on this? Please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. How did the computer catch a cold? It left a window open. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.